Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Entrepreneur. I'm going to give you a heads up. It is very windy today, and this is by far the quietest place I could find in the house, where the wind and the rattling is probably the least offensive, and I don't even know how well that's going to work out. So I am sorry if you hear any banging and clanging. I really tried to get away from it. But this news story cannot wait. We need to discuss about it now. And that is because a federal judge has actually made an official ruling on whether or not Uber drivers are employees or freelancers. And this decision could have, nationwide ramifications because a precedent has been set. Now, it should also be noted, there is an appeal going on, so this might not stick, but let's be honest, usually the first ruling is the final ruling in the long run. So according to Reuters, a U.S. judge in Philadelphia has ruled that limousine drivers for Uber Technologies, Inc. are independent contractors and not the company's employees under federal law. The first ruling of its kind on a crucial issue for the ride-hailing company. U.S. District Judge Michael Bailson on Wednesday said San Francisco-based Uber does not exert enough control over drivers for its limo service, Uber Black, to be considered their employer under the Federal Fair Labor Standards Act. Now, it should be noted, at that point, this is about Uber Black drivers. It doesn't necessarily mean it's about Uber X or Uber Pool or even Uber Select. That said, again, aside from the quality of the cars, there's, not a lot of wiggle room to say, so this could pretty easily be seen as applying to everything. The drivers work when they want to and are free to nap, run personal errands, or smoke cigarettes in between rides, Bailson said. So apparently, according to this judge, it was the whole you could get on and off whenever you want. That's what decided that it was an independent contractor and freelancer, which is a good point, and that is a major point to make. However, we will discuss some of the ways where maybe Uber is not quite so free if you are an independent contractor. But continuing, the legal classification of workers has been a major issue for gig economy companies that rely on independent contractors. Uber in particular has been hit with dozens of lawsuits in recent years, claiming its drivers are employees and are entitled to minimum wage, overtime, and other legal protections not afforded by contractors. An Uber spokesperson said the company is pleased with the decision, which of course they would be. There's no reason why they wouldn't be. They can keep charging whatever rate they want. They don't have to pay insurance. They don't have to pay the overtime. They don't have to pay the benefits. And yeah, they're kind of like Walmart. They can say, oh, you need more money for food? Well, great. Get on welfare. That's what Uber wants. Uber, that's why Uber's like, oh, we want to help you with your health. So sign up for Stride. Obamacare, basically. Anyone can do that. Uber's not helping you at all, and this ruling means that they can continue to not help you if they so choose not to, and they will always choose not to help you. Jeremy Abbey, a lawyer for the plaintiff, said he would appeal the ruling to the Philadelphia-based Third U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. The Third Circuit would be the first federal appeals court to consider whether Uber drivers are properly classified as independent contractors. Many of the cases filed against Uber has been sent to arbitration, but the plaintiffs in Philadelphia case were among a small minority of drivers who had opted not to sign arbitration agreements with the company, and good for them. Uber, of course, wants things to go into arbitration because they don't want their dirty laundry in the public. That's pretty much been their thing. However, in this case, even though it wasn't arbitration, they still came out okay. So not that they're going to change the arbitration agreement anytime soon. Don't expect that. But that's why arbitration exists. Last year, a state appeals court in Florida said Uber drivers were not its employees under Florida law, but state agencies in California and New York have said that they are under those state laws. Oh, correct. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Okay, now that we're back to our regularly scheduled program, Bailson in Wednesday's ruling said he was the first judge to rule in the classification of Uber drivers under federal law. His ruling comes about 2 months after a federal judge in San Francisco said that food delivery workers for Grubhub Inc. were not the company's employees. And since that is gig economy, that could probably be considered the first real ruling about the gig economy. The Grubhub case was first of its kind. Yeah, the first of its kind. There you go. The Philadelphia lawsuit was filed in February 2016. The plaintiff said Uber failed to pay the minimum wage and overtime in violation of the Fair Labor Standards Act, which only applies to employees. The plaintiffs were seeking to represent all drivers in Philadelphia for Uber's limousine service Uber Black. So they were going just for the Uber Black people. And in all fairness, I understand why you would do that. Uber Black is supposed to be a much better paying position. And if you're not guaranteed minimum wage on Uber Black and you're using those expensive cars, then what the heck are you doing? The case is Razak versus Uber Technologies, Inc., U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, number 216. Well, anyway, yeah. So my thoughts on this. I'm not too terribly surprised by the ruling because Uber's app does do enough to show that you're independent contractors. You can get on, you can get off whenever you want. All those things are true. They are all very true. Now, during the appeals, if anyone from the case is watching this, here's things you might want to bring up in your appeals. Bring up that Uber does not show you how much you are going to make for each job. That is a violation of the independent contractor status. I would point out that Uber manages the rates and does not allow you to name your own price. That, in a sense, is a violation of the independent contractor status. Point out how in the terms of service, Uber and Lyft explicitly state you cannot wrap your car with ads or advertise anything on your car. Now, it seems like a strange thing to bring up because how many drivers want to do that anyway? But here's the thing, it's your car. If you want to put like Raptify on it and Uber says no and they deactivate you, that is a violation of the independent contractor status because that is your car and that is your business. So you should, in theory, be allowed to do whatever you want with it. And as for the minimum wage thing, pointing out that they are not making minimum wage, just point out that there are minimum wage laws that prevent them where they can't do that, period. Just say that it is. Also, when it comes to the appeal, I would subpoena, that's the word, the engineers for the algorithm and have them explain how the algorithm works, because if they can prove that the algorithm is biased and favors certain people over other people, that might at the very least suggest a violation of the independent contractor status. Now, of course, there's no guarantee it's going to win, and I mean, as much as I want Uber regulated, going from independent contractor to employee, that's still like a gray area for me, because it's like the freedom to go on and on whenever you want is a huge incentive to do this. That's, I think, why a lot of people don't quit, because if they need a little money, they just do it for a little while. They don't have to do anything else. So yeah, I know some people might be disappointed, but then some people might be happy. And as always, I want to know what your thoughts on it are. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy the videos I make, consider becoming a Patreon member for $1 a month. And as always, blame responsibly. Have a good one.